Right. Anywho, press the buttons.
You're not canon.
10 points if you can guess where these are from.
Well, that's obviously by Flash Gets by Tom and Don, and it's Hate Monger.
Right.
Word of lemon.
Fuck knows, don't know what that one is.
No, that's Chaotic Good Barbarian. Hi, Cat.
That was a hate crime.
Well, that's Optimus Prime, right?
That's Flash Gets Kratos.
Oh, is it?
I hate them.
Well, I guess.
Hate Monger. And my favourite.
Why must you fail me so often?
That's just some random guy's TikTok thing. He's got a Halloween skull. He's like, hey, let me tell you a joke. What is a skeleton's favourite snack? And the guy's like, I don't know, bones. And it's funny.
I've seen it. Is that the one where they're in, like, Walmart or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, I have seen that.
Dear. Love it. Anyways, how's YouTube life going?
Good. I had to cancel my episode yesterday. We had stuff going on in the house, so I didn't have peace and quiet to be able to sort. And then I would have recorded it early, but I was working Saturday and Sunday because I'm 6 people down in a 10-man team.
Excellent. That
Which
sounds really fun.
lovely. Yeah, so I've been at work pretty much every day, which is a bit
Yes.
fucking brutal, but
If only
what I-
YouTube was a full-time activity and you could just sit in the house and
I
kit
know,
bash and
mate.
paint things.
I know.
dream.
If only I could be paid enough to sit in my arse in my games room and build models all day. It would
Become
be.
Chief Neckbeard.
I know. But it's good. Obviously, in my last video, I had put a wee thing at the end because it's went well so quick. I didn't expect to be anywhere near. I'm almost at 30. I know 30 is not a lot when compared to what you've got, right? But for the fact that I've only got maybe about half an hour worth of videos
Meh.
altogether in, it's fucking mental.
No, it's cool. This is what I was saying to you for ages. I was like, just start it. Just start doing it. I did seeing you look at my first battle reports, like Winter's SEO kind of style, and that I was like, I like how he does these things, so I'll just kind of copy that, and then minigame montage style, and now I'm just like,
Yeah, you've got your own.
yeah, now my own mad thing. Hi, cat. Meow meow.
Well, that last episode, obviously, because it was part of the series, because obviously it was one of the models. But I do eventually want to go back. I don't know if you actually managed to watch the video or not, but then I was going to go back and make an actual Goliath version of it as well.
Using the new kit stuff, or just using the...
Using the new kit stuff, which is why I said I would come back to it later down the line, because I'm waiting for the new kit stuff. And then I'll use that to be able to make a pit trainer that's Goliath themed. I actually kind of want to do one of the female models.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously Goliath models, there wasn't a ton of females in the old models.
Nah, it's one of those things as well. But it's like, oh, what do you mean female Goliaths? Brr. Like, nah, fairly sure they've always been a thing. It's not like female custodies.
There were 2, was there not, in the old Goliath box?
Pass, but like the standard gang kit one, or the... No, it was in the Stimmer and Juve one. Yeah.
She's got a fucking axe saw thing.
Axe saw.
A two-handed thing. I can't remember what it's actually called.
The rock saw, and see some full of mad painkillers, man. My brain just shuts down. What is the name of the... It's the least good weapon in the world.
Don't go there, man. I was at work for 2 months with this hip of mine, and see, when I actually had to go to the doctor and go, you need to take me off these medications because I'm in the house having conversations with people that don't exist.
Excellent. What did they give you? Some good, or like just a combination?
So it was the one that was causing me to trip out was the highest dose they can legally administer of cocodamol.
Excellent.
And I was taking 2 at a time.
Mhm.
So I was taking the highest dose doubled, basically. They told me to take 2, and I was allowed to take up to 8, but I was to take two at a time. And fuck me, Ross, man, I had a full-blown conversation with the missus,
Mhm.
and then she walked in the front door for dancing, and had been at dancing for an hour.
I mean, it's not great,
So
is it?
we genuinely had a falling out because I was calling her all sorts because I thought she was fucking with me. I thought she had snuck outside.
Gaslighting you like a champion.
Aye, she knew by that point in time. She knew I was hallucinating. So I thought, and she can be quite sick that way, like, so she will mess with me if she can. And I thought she had snuck outside and fucking had came in the door and was like, "No, I wasn't." I was like, "What you doing? What were you doing outside?" And she's like, "What do you mean? I'm just in." I'm like, "Ha ha, very funny." She's like, "No, seriously, I'm just." I was like, "No, you're no. You were in the bedroom doing whatever you were doing in the bedroom, and then you went into the kitchen and you
Turn
were talking
purple.
to me the full time." And she's like, "No, I wasn't." And I was like, "Are you were?" I'm like, "You're standing in the kitchen deciding on what you wanted for dinner." I was like, "We had a full conversation." And then she walked in. She was in her full dancing gear, and I went, "Ah, very funny. You've obviously got changed into that, and then snuck outside." And no, I haven't. I'm not that bad. And I went, aye, you would do that. She's like, no, I wouldn't. She's like, right. She got her phone out and phoned one of her coaches, and her coach is like, is everything all right? Did you leave something in the studio? And she went, no, but thank you for saying that, because I literally was just phoning you to ask you where I was, because Scott doesn't believe I was at dancing. He
Amazing.
says I was in the kitchen, and they're like, all right, okay. And then that's when I realised, I'm like, all right, okay, maybe I was hallucinating.
Maybe I was hallucinating again. Not like the first one. No, like, oh, what happened there? Just like, yeah, I need to do less drugs.
Yeah. So I ended up going back to the doctor and been like, no, like I need to go back to work soon, and there is no way in hell. You imagine me and Asda wandering about, fucking hallucinating.
Nah,
I thought, no chance. So they kept me on cocodamol, but they dropped me to the lowest dose, and then
like a
that,
regular human amount of cocodamol.
aye, but then that wasn't helping the pain. So then they just slowly increased it. So I'm basically now on the dose before the dose that was making me hallucinate.
So we're on the edge of tripping balls and being part of like
Basically.
some kind of psycho conspiracy.
So if I take 2 of them, I feel dead fucking like I'm not in my body. If I take 1, it's enough for the pain to be manageable, but I'm fine. So when I'm really sore, like like the new when I come in for work, that's how I slept most of the day. When I
Yeah.
came in for work last night, I've done fucking 7 days in a row. I'm in fucking, 8 days in a row. I'm in fucking agony. So I took 2 last night and ended up fucking crashing out about 11 o'clock. No, even about 10 o'clock, which is not like me. I'm usually up to like 4.
Lift. Fuck that. See, I'm like Captain Sleep. Well, because I work at like usually I'm at work for 6 a.m. I'm
You're
asleep
stupid.
for like I'm asleep for like maybe 20 past 10 at the latest. Like, but I'm also a born middle-aged adult.
Yeah, I know, and you've also got Wayne as well, so.
Well, let's say they've got me on now. Tapentadol and
But,
something else.
well,
So
I'm that. I'm cocodamol. I'm naproxen.
we should share drugs. We should put them in a big bowl, mix them up, take a handful, see what happens. Kidding. Like, see in case I release this is not medical advice. I am by no means an
Yeah.
actual doctor. Please don't do anything illegal and or die and blame me, thanks.
Do you know one of the things that I've struggled with actually lately on YouTube, just in case you release this, I won't say it is, but see not calling you by your name,
Mhm.
calling you by Dr. Drybrush instead. Because I did mention that in the end of my last video, that obviously we are friends in real life,
Nah.
and trying not to call you by your name, it takes it to, the amount of times that I get a really good take, and I'm like, I'm really happy with that. Then I listen back, and I've called you by your name, and I'm like,
Shit.
and then it's because of the way I talk, because I'm still a wee bit too fast.
Mm.
It's really hard to just cut out that individual word
Yeah.
without making it seem dead like choppy. And I'm like, bastard, I'm gonna have to delete that fucking last 4 minutes that I've just spoke and redo it all over again.
Like my favourites, like believe it or not, shockingly, a lot of my stuff's unscripted. So like when I record it, I'm like, oh, that was a really good take. Oh fuck, but I did that. I need to go back and change something. I'm like, I'm not on that train of thought anymore. I'm like, shit, take 3 was good, but now on take 14.
Well, that's my thing. Like, I will obviously record. So right now, I record me building, and then I mute all the sound, because no one wants to hear me clicking and clacking as I'm cutting bits open, swearing every time I cut myself.
Yeah.
Like, so because you need to bleed for building models. It's just the way it works. But I always end up just doing it that way, and then I will watch it back muted and record the voice over the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I can get away with that because I'm building something. I'm not just playing a battle report. But it is, I don't script it either. And then I guess the point where I say something and I go, do you know what? Fuck it, I'll need to go and write this down. And then I end up having to sit with my laptop open and write parts of what I've said, because I'm like, do you know what? Saying it that way is really good. I actually like that compared to...
It's the way to do it. Like, so I think if I had to go back and do it again, I would spend a lot more time actually scripting stuff and just learning how to read off a screen. You know what I mean? And like still present it kind of naturally. Because with the Necro Noir stuff, it is very bluntly a pain in the dick. Because it's like, take a still photo and then have that one black and white, and then remove the background and have the figure in colour, and then superimpose that on the background one. But then also write a bunch of text that makes sense in like an audiobook format. So it's getting away from that, just like the mechanical way of things. It'd be like, oh, I need a 2. I got a 3. His toughness 4. Weapon strength is 5. I need a 3. You know what I mean? Like, just because the whole N26 thing, which is a whole rabbit hole to fall down, I just can't be bothered with it. Like,
I was trying to keep a positive attitude, like I normally do with everything that I do, about how, like, do you know what, maybe if they're not changing the rules too bad, it should be alright, blah, blah, blah. There's some things, after watching some people reviewing the books, I'm a bit like, you've changed it a little bit too much.
See, it's not even the rules for me, really. It's like so see the stuff that I like, the stuff that makes sense is the likes of, everybody does aim and shoot. There's no reason for that to be 2 separate actions. That should just be a double action, which it is now, which makes sense. On board with that. The thing that put me off it was the whole, like, I've seen it before, so even they refreshed for N17, they were like,
yeah,
here's 2 books, these will last forever. Lol, 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 lol. And I'm like, right, technically they're not wrong. Not wrong. The N26, the 2 books, you can make them last forever, but if you're like making content, or you're the forever arbitrator, or whatever, you're going to need to rebuy the same books, and I just don't want to be honest.
And to be fair, even within, you take away the books that have just came out, but even within their own N17, that fucking, they brought out like Irantian Secession. When was the last time you picked up the Gang Wars book over the Irantian Secession book? Like,
pass. Nah.
I don't think I've built a list for normal, original Necromunda for the N17 book.
Nah.
Since you taught me how to play.
I'm probably also not the best person to learn from him.
That's what made Necromunda, I think, fun for me, and that's how the guys that I've then been playing with, because I've got I don't know if I said to you, because it might be with you, I don't know how much equipment you've got, but if we're ever doing battle reports or whatever, lugging it over here, because I've got an actual events table. You see, like the tables we use at events for...
Oh, the big fold-out thingies?
2,000 to 3,000 point Warhammer games.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one of them in the games room.
What I'm hearing is massive ash waste game.
Yeah, literally, I don't like ash waste. It's never been the thing.
Oh, come on.
I know it's a hot take. It's like saying I don't like Mad Max, but like...
No, fucking... Hang on. Like, what do you mean you don't like Mad Max?
No, I do. That's what I'm saying. It's a hot take, like saying I don't
Right,
like my dad.
right.
I like my dad.
We can still be
But
friends.
I
This
don't
is
like.
about to get emotional.
I don't like. It's like choosing Thunderdome over Fury Road. Like, I don't like the whole constant idea of being in vehicles and all that. You look at me when I play Warhammer. You've seen me play 40k when obviously we used to be about in GR.
Yes.
I don't think I bring any vehicle, but what was the Stormwolf, which no longer exists.
Because everything's a legend now. See all those thousands of pounds you
Yeah,
spent?
I know.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You can't play with them anymore. But you can use them as proxies, maybe.
Well, I was going to say, it's just a fancy Stormraven now when you look at my lists.
Well, that's done away with as well.
No, I think the Stormraven gunship's still there, if I remember right. There's one of them.
If we post it, somebody will correct us and they'll be like, oh, well, actually, it's Burr.
Probably. One of the Ultramarines idea ships that is usable in any of the Space Marines, cause they're Space Marines and they get everything.
Yeah.
They is usable, and it's got two forms. One of them's just a gunship that can't carry any troops, and one of them's a troop transport flyer. And it's the same as the old Stormwolf and Stormfang.
Right. So it's basically, rules-wise, it's the same thing.
Yeah, just it doesn't have the Space Wolfy flavour of the different types of weaponry and stuff like that. It's not themed. So I end up just running it as one of them.
Yeah.
It's fun. I have actually, while we've been talking, been looking. So I did find the box. So it is, you were right, it's the Stimmer Forgeborn box. And it is the Forgeborn. So the Forgeborn comes with two female models, one with an axe shot and one with a rivet gun.
No, it's a
Storm Welder.
It's some kind of mad welder thing. Storm welder. Yeah.
Is it a Storm Welder? Aye.
It's like rapid fire 3 random target allocation. Best of luck.
The second female's really hard to see, but if you do post this and anybody does end up listening to our mad rambles, it looks like the one that's got the welding mask on top of her head.
Yeah.
It looks very female coded because you get the same sort of torso as the actual one that looks like a female. So this whole Goliath don't have females. There's been female Goliath for years.
And
that box came out like quite early on in the cycle for N17, did it not?
It was either 17 or 23, but it came out sharpish. But even at that, I'm like, I think back in N95, it was a case of they were like, Escher is all whammon because whammon. And then they were like, Goliath is all borderline huge gay men because look at them. And then they were like, actually, you probably can get female Goliath.
I did have a segue here for you, but then you had to throw the gay part in, and I feel like I would annoy a community if I referred to these people as gay. But not long ago, I was actually UK's strongest man.
Nice. I wouldn't recommend you besmirch their sexual preferences in any way, shape, or form.
I don't know if any of them actually are gay. There might be, but do you know what? It's some of the stuff they do. It's absolutely nuts. See, watching it in the telly and then seeing it in real life, it really doesn't compare. You watch it in the telly and you go, "Aye, all right, cool, he's left at that." But see, when you actually sit in like ringside and you hear the noise of some of the things that they're dropping, you're like, "Fucking hell!" Like that would crush you.
Yeah, like you have picked up a car, sir. Why?
Yeah. So when we were there, it was sponsored by, and this obviously isn't sponsored.
Nah. I ain't got no cash, bro.
I would love to be sponsored, to be fair. Like, no, it's sponsored by a website. It's like a competition. I think it's That Prize Guy.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a motorbike that we all get a free entry into, obviously, because it's a sponsorship, just trying to drum up. You have to sign up, and I get bombarded.
Give me your email.
Yeah. So the motorbike was there, and they were actually lifting that on the platform as well as weighted platform.
That's upsetting.
So It was nuts, man. Like, I'm sitting looking at it going, fuck me. Obviously, I've got a motorbike.
Mhm.
It's not the heaviest thing on the planet, but it still weighs a fair bit.
I really
Especially-
wanted to make the South Park reference there, but I decided not to.
Especially when you drop it on your leg.
Yeah, don't do that. That's how you end up with really sore hips.
Yep. And to add weight on top of that because it's not heavy enough.
It's kind of
No.
a mental concept in it.
Yeah.
You're like, right, this weighs several hundred kilos. Nah, give me more.
One for you, we missed the first event because it was the day before and we were actually out at my oldest nephew's 18th.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, a few weeks ago. You've actually met my nephew, I think, in person. I think
Probably.
I brought him into GR that one time when I was meeting up with you. My dad came and collected him after.
Aye.
Yeah, that wee guy's now 18.
Nope.
No, it feels like only a few years ago he was born, but obviously not. We missed the first event, and the first event was a truck pull,
Uh-huh.
but they were doing it down Clydeside in Glasgow.
Excellent.
Now, you'll know as well as I do, having been in Glasgow. That sounds like an incredible feat to
Yeah.
pull a truck. But
However,
I think the more incredible feat is the fact that the organisers managed to find a flat, straight bit of road on Glasgow to be able to pull a truck.
and none of the competitors were mugged. Good job.
Yeah, well, to be fair, there's a lot of cameras about, so I don't think they would do that daft. And other news about Glasgow, did you see the thing about the snake?
So the fucking what then? Snake.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
is this it was
the
at
rogue
St. Enix
snake
and
that-
there was just a snake?
Yeah, there was a rogue snake that had been escaped from somewhere and was like biting. Yeah. To be fair, I don't know if you, just as you're saying that, the funny thing about that is, you know how they captured it? They put a cardboard box over the top of it, which is
Amazing.
even better. Now that you've made that joke. Yeah, it's
Love
nuts.
Love that.
I was at work and next minute one of the guys that works for me came running up the stairs and went, "You don't like snakes, do you?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well," he's like, "There's one in Glasgow." And I went, "Aha, very funny, think it's one of these prank things." And he's like, "No, seriously." So I
It's
got it
just
up
a
on my
random
phone.
snake.
And it was on the news that the snake had escaped from terrorising Glasgow Main Street. So we can stop terrorist attacks at airports
Yeah.
by the general public, but as soon as there's a snake on the loose, that's it.
Hanging all bets are off. So you want to drive a car on fire into an airport, prepare to get your balls kicked off. Oh no, a snake! Ah!
Yeah, let's shut the cannon street. Like, okay, right, so
Fuck me, man.
no, definitely
Well, people make Glasgow, allegedly.
no. Yeah, well, I know. You think about it, like it's mental. But on other YouTube news, I am starting back to what we should have actually been talking about.
Yes.
I'm actually starting my second series.
Ooh.
I plan on doing a bit of it today once I get some time.
Yes.
I obviously have had a poll going on the channel for a wee bit,
Yes.
and we are going to be starting work on. You'll probably roll your eyes because I know you're not that biggest fan about 40k at the moment.
I mean,
you were.
right now, I'm very over. You tell me your thing, and then I'll come back to it, and I'll go on a tear.
So obviously, I've had my Space Wolves for a while,
Yes.
and they
And your
are
furry
all
costume in the closet. Yes.
yes, obviously they're all fully clip bashed and everything, as you know.
Yes.
People who, if you do post this and tune in, probably won't have seen this by now because I don't think I've uploaded any photos yet on an episode, but they will be up at some point. But I decided that I wanted to do the same thing for a new army for this edition.
Mm-hmm. Because you hate money and free time.
Pretty much, mate. Nah, I've had a couple of armies because I've spent since it came out. I have spent an absorbent amount of time on Space Marine 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the customization in that, I love it to bits, and they add more and more every couple of months, and I spend so much time, especially on a reset day when all the missions reset. Don't even expect to see me on a Wednesday. Like, it's one of those ones. And if not, I have made so many different factions and different like chapters, and just came up with ideas. And I'm like, you know what? I want to take these, so I took 3 of my favourites that I've made from Space Marine and put them up in the poll, because I would like to make an army of them. So I'm going to just start off with like a unit, and then like a kill team, and it's going to be one of these slow burn.
Yeah. Not
so that
remortgage the house immediately kind of things.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So that I'm just like slow burning the actual army, and eventually through the episodes we will end up. So the episode that will be coming out probably tomorrow, I would like to think it will be tomorrow, will be a little bit of background lore and a little bit of just introducing what the faction is and ideas.
Nice.
So there'll be no building, which I think will be a bit of a change.
Oh no, I'm out of my comfort zone. I don't like this.
Yeah, I am still trying to get used to, again, you'll probably hear the difference in my voice, used to talking to no one. Like, it's all well and good when I'm talking to you through this, but sitting in a room with a mic, watching myself do something and talking to no one.
It just feels ridiculous, doesn't it? It feels like...
Yeah, it's a strange feeling, and I'm getting there. So, obviously, the first couple of videos that I put out are very robotic sounding, as you were talking about earlier. But the last
it's just
one...
That's all it is. It's just practice. You just need to get comfortable with the sound of your own voice and being like, no, I sound like a mutant.
The last one that I'd done, which was the crossover episode for your Necromunda,
yes,
was a lot better, because the full time I was working away, I was just laughing at myself because of some of the stuff that I had said, and then went, I probably shouldn't put that in an episode. I don't think that would be...
Nah, the amount of stuff that I have to cut out. Like, so like usually I just do like a kind of rough freeballing and just like say whatever it is I'm going to say, and then I'll like you were saying earlier on, kind of pick bits out of it. But then I've started getting into the habit of actually writing scripting and then saying that out loud and being like, that's not how humans talk, and then having to change it and everything else. But it's the amount of stuff that gets removed from an episode. Just so
I think when, obviously I'm new at it, so I've probably got
a hate crime.
I've got this bit of perspective more, because you've been doing this for quite a while now, so your brain's probably a lot your brain's probably a lot more in tune with the YouTube side. But having come to it quite fresh, having watched the video, you sit and you watch folks' videos and you go, like even yours, you go, all right, okay, it's 20-minute video, half an hour video. Fair enough, there's probably been some work that's went into that. But then when you actually start doing it, my video, I think my longest video right now is 8 minutes.
That was like 50 to 90 minutes worth of work.
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah.
Because I'm obviously building the model first, which can take hours, depending on the model. Especially the next episode in the series, which is a model you've already seen the finish of, because I will now have been making 2 of them, because I made one for you originally, which is still needs to come to you.
Yes.
I've got one to make, because you were trying to find me a bit from the Van Saar
stuff, yeah.
So I've ended up ordering that, which was one of the parts that had literally just came this morning. That's the reason I'm up. With my patented grey cardboard box, brown cardboard box filled with Warhammer bits. And yeah, that model took me, the first build round that I built took me maybe an hour and a half to build. So then I need to record all that. Then I need to cut all that down to the usable parts. Because there's chunks where there's nothing on camera, because I need to have the model basically.
You're like, I need to see what I'm doing now.
Yeah, I need to have it super glued to my face to be able to see the tiny wee cut that I need to make to be able to get this to glue in flush. And then you've got all the editing. So you're talking sometimes for like an 8-minute video, I could be maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Easy.
And you're sitting there going,
Until you do
wow.
it yourself, you're like, I don't get why folk are like, oh, this takes forever. But like, see, even just learning how to photograph things or like how to position stuff within a field of view of the camera that looks good and balanced, nightmare. And then when you put it into an editing software, like I use that KineMaster because it was free to start with, and then I just paid for the pro version. But KineMaster's it's good on mobile, but if you use the like Windows Link thing or whatever the fuck it's called, and you use a mouse on your laptop, it becomes so much easier to use. But even at that, there's still the learning curve to go with it, and then you're like, right, well, how does setting that thing there change this, and does that transition go into that clip filter, or like what's happening? And then like starting out the very first couple of battle reports, I think I just kind of filmed them and like paused at parts where it would make sense to pause the actual live recording and then just keep going. But once I get into like the editing software side of things, it just adds on fucking days, mate.
Yeah. So for I think I want to say it was the Hive Preacher,
Yes.
but it might not have been. It might have been the Flagellator episode. I found out on my phone I've got a pause option for my recording.
Game
so
changer.
I was hitting it. No, but what ended up happening was I would hit it and then go away, do what I was doing, and then unhit it and come back in. But then when you upload it, you don't have that break where you can see me take the model away.
Yeah.
And then you've got just the clear mat, and then it's hard to position the two halves back together, especially if you make any cuts, because you don't have that just like stock, I want to say stock image, for example.
Yeah, you've not got like a fixed frame to go, that's where that
Yep.
lives. Yeah.
Yep, so I don't have the fixed frame of just the empty mat on my desk that I'm working on to then just go, right, cool, that's where that, and it's fine, it looks like it all flows in one thing. So I've ended up just kiboshing that and just going back to recording an hour long session of me building models and just hand cutting it myself.
You could hear yourself breathing really badly in the background and shit like that. You're like, oh, I'm so unhealthy.
Yeah. For me, it's the swearing, and it's the vans as well. See, because of where I stay, I get obviously the oil tankers and all that coming by the house, so they shake the full house.
And then that'll wobble the camera.
Well, yeah. So at night it's okay when you're asleep because you don't really hear them, but during the day when you're doing normal things, it's okay as well. And then as soon as you try and do something that involves steadiness, nah, like putting shelves up on walls, recording videos, as soon as that starts shaking, it's a nightmare. That's how I do most of my recording over the weekend, and because it's shut at the weekend, so there's less.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Less noise.
I'm kind of, because I'm off work just now because my spine is still very wrecked. I'm like trying to do stuff during the day, and the wee ones at nursery, the big ones at high school, and the missus is at work. So I'm like, I really should actually make use of these 8 hours where I'm effectively just lying down and being sore anyway.
Sorry, did you just to say I heard that? Did you say big unit high school?
Yeah. Yep.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Right.
Right.
It's terrifying. I know, he's gonna have to get a job soon and then support my plastic crack addiction.
Yeah. Have you I'm not obviously gonna mention where you work, but because we don't want that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. But is the plan that once you're healed you're going back? Yeah.
Well, in an office role just now and likely for the foreseeable, so I think my days of activity may very well be panned in because I'm effectively disabled now, which is cool. But
hell, do you know what? At least it was a good way to go out. Having known how this all came about, again, we won't air that publicly.
No.
But
No,
yeah, it
but-
definitely wasn't from something stupid.
No.
For anybody who
no.
does end up listening, if you do post
I
it.
know. And if you really want to know, just fucking reach out and ask me, and I'll be like, yeah, this thing happened, and it's cool because my life is irrevocably changed.
To be fair, considering what your job is, you are very open and honest about things when people are questioned, to a point
Yeah.
where you can be, obviously,
Nah,
just in case. Just in case your work get a hold of this.
allegedly.
To a point where yeah. Well, not even allegedly, just to a point where it's okay that you can be anything
Yeah.
that you're not supposed to. Yeah. But yeah, because I've obviously really enjoyed hearing about the other side of
Nah.
what's actually
Through the
entailed.
looking glass. Yep.
Yeah,
Haha,
And-
that does sound terrible. You're right.
yeah, and you can maybe understand why the certain people that do your job can be a bit of a cunt sometimes.
100%. 100%. And I'm not saying that I've always been a saint. I guarantee I am the utter worst cunt in somebody's story, which is fine.
Probably,
But
I could
like,
probably think of a few.
yeah, but just like socially, like just going about my day, you know what I mean? But like, I like to think that I've actually been semi-useful most of the time and reasonably fair most of the time.
Yeah,
There's somebody out there that'll be like, fucking, I don't like you. I'm like, cool. I don't even remember who you are, mate. Fuck off.
I get it in my work as well. See, because again, not mentioning where I work, because technically I'll not be working for them in a month
Don't
and
tell them.
a week.
Shh.
But
I hate them.
no, it's alright. They know it's their fault. It's actually the company that are two paying us. I don't know if I actually explained this to you, that my role within the company is now getting outsourced.
Excellent.
So we're getting sent to the new outsourced company. I'm actually really happy about it. To be fair, mate, that the company that we're getting outsourced to are the leading company in the UK for what I do as a job. So it'll be good, and I'm going in as a supervisory role still, so I'm still
Hooray!
keeping my job. So yeah, it'll be good. I think it's going to be a lot better for me and my team.
I think
especially
you
now
should
that
just work from home and do YouTube full time.
Yep, again, if everybody wants to like pitch in, I might even just start a buy me a coffee to pay for the parts I need for model.
Well, see that the coffee club thing. I've had one of them for ages, and I just keep forgetting about it. So, like, why have I got this? I'm like, because like, I think there's maybe only like 2 or 3 episodes in the entire 5-year and a bit history of the channel where I've been like,
That you
yeah, go to
mentioned it.
Kofi or coffee. Fuck it, there'll be a
Yeah. Yeah.
subscriber will come to your house and they'll kick you in the toes. Just one toe.
Kick. I was gonna
Yes.
say kick. I'm surprised it didn't involve a stub gun before. Like,
Stop gun is life. I love them.
see making that episode
one
where
where I held you
had it
hostage?
sound. Yeah. See trying to get some way to refer to you
Mm.
that was funny enough, but was still YouTube viable. That was hard. That was one of those ones I was talking about earlier, where there was maybe about 8 or 9 takes where I went, nah, I can't post that.
Nah.
That was
Can't
a hate
post that.
crime.
So you were going to say something about 40k, about your rant about 40k. So
Right, no,
What-
fuck it. You've opened
how
this
you-
can of
how you-
worms, right?
yeah, how you were
You-
done with 40k.
You brought this on yourself. So I started playing 40k in like 3rd or 4th edition. Like I was around for the birth of the Tau and the fall of Cadia. Like that whole thing. Like I was part of the Ire Terror campaign, and if anybody else remembers that, you remember the glorious clusterfuck of early online internet life that it was. But
Yeah,
where was I going?
definitely
So
do.
I,
That's when I started.
right, so I like, much like me, you also enjoy kind of asymmetric boards and like nothing's perfectly balanced, and like probably why we both enjoyed Necromunda as much, because there's an element of fuckery in it, and you can be like, right, well, that seems cool, so let's do that. Like I think one of the last games of 9th edition I played, it was like a custom rule set where I used maybe, I think it was 20 Tau fire warriors and a fire blade versus never-ending hordes of orcs that would come through the forest. Like, and it was right. Remember
Did I
that?
not help you? Did I not help you test that?
I think so. And it was fun.
That sounds so familiar. Just as you said that, I'm like, I'm pretty sure. Did you not get me to come in one day? Actually, was I not at work and you asked me on my break to come test
Very
that?
possibly.
Now that I think about it,
Like, I know you're
Anyway.
actually technically working right now, but it's also your job to play with toys. So come here and play
Yeah,
with toys.
pretty much. For anybody who doesn't know, I used to work in a game store, and that's how I obviously got to meet Mr. Drybrush here himself. Nearly said your real name.
Doctor, damn you! I didn't spend no years at medical school.
Sorry, forgot the doctor part. You know,
Like, anybody can make up
Definitely
a
not.
title they want, right? You could be
Yeah,
Captain Blade and Sprue,
definitely not
Reverend.
a rogue doctor of any kind. Please do not
No,
seek him for
no.
medical advice.
No, definitely not. Like, guess you'll die then. Like, that's the extent of my medical advice.
I just think if you were somebody came to you for medical advice, you'd be like, roll a d6 and we'll figure out what happens.
Yeah, like, we'll figure it out. We'll write a table and we'll make it a random medical care generator. So you've got a cough, right? Spinal surgery. Well, I wouldn't have rolled a one if I was you. Off you fuck. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. 40k. Right, come on. Right, so like I like the asymmetric and the kind of dumb stuff and like the actual story side of 40k, and like again, this because somebody called me a grognard the other day, and I was like, all right, cool. And then some guy at work called me Unk, and I was like, the fuck is Unk? And he was like, you're just being Unk, bro. I was like, all right, cool. And I had to I genuinely googled it, and I was like, I'm so old. But, yeah, it was a bad time. I cried a lot, and then moved on. But 40k wise, like I'm of a vintage where I remember like armor facings and hull down and stuff, and that's probably why I like the Necromunda Ash Rules set, because it feels familiar to me. It feels like something I've already played with. And then I think maybe ninth onwards, GW, and this isn't a criticism, I think this is a good business strategy for them. I think they've moved more towards tournament play, and I think the overall view will be to take ownership of tournaments and standardize everything, like you can see now in 11th edition with the terrain footprint stuff and like the fixed board format. That it boils my piss, mate. I hate it. I hate it. But I think they're trying to make a move towards like an esports kind of setup, which I think makes sense. And then you would get like professional tournament player scene, and like maybe that kind of thing would take off. Like I think that would be interesting, but it's not for me. Like I have no interest in a random result competitive game. Like it's just I don't care. I just don't. I can't think of anything worse than every 3 years or thereabouts, whenever it is they bring out a new set of rules, and then the day one FAQ it, and then the day two errata, and like everything that they've already printed and read is already wrong, and then some cheese dick finds a way to be like, oh, actually, did you know if you put like 40 grots in a line, you can't actually deep strike anywhere in my deployments? Like, eat a dick, or whatever your least preferred genitalia is. I mean, like, just why are you doing that? But anyway, right, so I went on a mad tangent again. Fuck me, right, concentrate. So, like, see the terrain footprint stuff. I'm like, it was never really an issue when you were playing your mates. I mean, you were always just like, it's close enough to being in cover.
Yeah.
Here's the cover. I mean, or like you can't actually see through that, so you can't see through it. And then I think, like I'm saying, I think they've made a sort of concentrated effort to appease the tournament crowd. Which for that, it makes sense that you start being exacting with rules and you start being like, right, well, if it's not right there, it's not that thing. But, but trying to control effectively a random dice game to the extent of you bring your toys, I'll bring my toys, every map will be the exact same, and we'll see who just manages to roll a random number of dice better than the other person. Like,
yeah,
that might just be me, but that doesn't appeal to me.
I agree with you in some sentiment of that, because I feel like lately, especially in this edition, it is a lot more tournament focused, and I do feel like it's very much going the way of Yu-Gi-Oh,
Right.
where it's like you can determine a game from who goes first.
So
Like
traditional 40k, you say?
yeah, you roll a dice and you go right. I'm going first, and I know I'm already going to win. Like,
well, that's
it's
another
one of
thing.
those.
Like, see with the I go you go system of 40k, like it can literally be the case. Obviously, table setup has to be bad, and having fixed table setup mitigates that to a certain extent. But it can be the case of you've spent 40 minutes setting up your cherished plastic crack, and you will spend
to
the
be
next
wiped
40
in turn one.
minutes, just picking it up and putting it back in the
Yeah.
box. Like, you got to do nothing.
Yeah, I'm very much an alternating turns player,
Yes.
like what we get in Necromunda.
Yeah,
Like
big
I
fan.
do a dude, you do a dude. Like I also played Star Wars, and this is where I get where you're coming from, because I remember the original rule set of Star Wars Legion.
Was it
And I
bad?
always get this wrong, and I'm sure no, it was really good. I'm sure someone will correct me, because AMG owned it at one point, and Fantasy Flights owned it at one point. I can't remember who owns it now. I think it's AMG at the moment. I think it was Fantasy Flights first, then AMG. But the original rule set, like everything was fairly balanced. Yes, for anybody who does remember that time when it first came out, clones were really strong, which was like the second wave of stuff. And you know what it's like with power creep. They brought out the original stuff, so it was Rebels versus Imperial, and then they brought out a second wave to try and revitalize the game, and it was Clone Wars stuff. So it was the CIS droids versus the Republic clones. And the clones were really strong because they had this whole like brotherhood thing where like if you shot with one dude, you could shoot with another unit into them as well. But instead of using your two activations on that unit, you're basically giving up your two activations only to do one. But you're getting to like fire with one squad and then fire straight away with another. So it meant you could wipe out an opponent's squad before they get a chance to activate.
Right.
That's alternative activations.
Yeah.
So like you do one dude, they do it. But when they sold it on the rules now, I don't play it. I've got all the models and I've got them all painted, which is a new one for me, considering I don't paint a lot. My whole army is painted, and I spent hours painting them, and I don't really play because the new rule set I'm not fond of. Because again, that is a company swap. So the new companies came in and went, we are going to re-change how some of this works because we're not happy with it. But again, it's still a fun game. And to be fair, one of the things that they do well is their terrain, because they use the old Warhammer model of.
I'll just throw a bunch of stuff on the table and see what happens.
But I'm talking about the actual rules for how terrain applies. So if you can't see a dude, you can't. And other than that, they either get a +1 bonus or a +2 bonus, depending on the type of terrain it is. But you can always shoot them. As long as you can see the model through the terrain, if it's got windows or you can see them over the top of it or that, you can shoot. And
so it's
the
actually fun, you say?
Yeah, and it's the old way of, and that's bear in mind, subject to change, because I haven't looked at the rules in maybe about 3 years. So they could have also done a Warhammer and changed this. But I think the idea of if the buildings have windows and I can see you through it, whether you're in that footprint of that building or not, I should be able to shoot you.
Yeah, it's not good.
Especially if it's a room.
I can't see beyond where that window pane used to be. Shit.
Yeah. Instead of I'm standing outside the footprint, so you can't see me.
Yeah.
No, I can look through the window. You've got no back wall on the back of your building.
But technically, I need to be wholly within, and I'm like, sharp.
Yeah. So it's things like that, and then like I do, having started in the edition you last played.
Yes.
I do miss some of the things. I do miss just like some dude rocking up with a knight, and you go, "Oh fuck, I don't know what I can do about this."
Guess I'll die.
Yeah, and I miss the sort of power fantasy of Warhammer.
Yeah. No, I get that. Like when it was sort of more Hero Hammer orientated to an extent.
That's not just because I'm a Space Wolf player and we had about 50 characters that were all like ran by themselves, and now we've lost most of them.
Well, that's another thing
But-
that I don't really like about how 40k is now, because it's like everything is so homogenous. Like a good Space Marine list will always be a good Space Marine list. It doesn't matter if you've painted them yellow or red or blue or whatever. Like I don't. Yeah, it just annoys me.
I think the problem with that is that they took away the old upgrade point table.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of when you buy a unit, instead of having to pay X points to give a dude in that unit a sniper rifle,
Mm-hmm.
you now just get it for free.
Excellent.
So you pick your unit, you only pay for the actual bodies within the unit, and then any of the upgrades are free.
Yes, if you're not taking the optimal loadout, that's a specific choice that you've had to make the game difficult for you.
Yeah.
Like, it just...
Exactly. If you're just running a unit of chods with bolt guns and you've not threw a melter in there because it's free, that was your choice.
Nah. And now it's like you also need to attach like 5 lieutenants and 900 captains, and like it doesn't seem like there's like the hero hammer
that
thing. It doesn't seem like there's a standout guy.
To be fair, they have changed that rule now, which I actually really like.
They've sold loads of those miniatures.
Yeah, I really like the fact that they've obviously identified the problem of people just making like a doom stack, and it being insane. Let's get all the buffs under the sun, and it's now like you have one character model, and then you have like a secondary model. I can't remember the word that they're using, but it's things like your apothecaries, your librarian. They're like assistant kind of models. They're like I think it actually might be support. You might be bang on there.
Yes.
They're like a secondary model that you can attach in that unit, but after that, that's it. You can only have one of each, which is quite cool because now you're getting a lot of people playing lists that have cool, like for the army that I'm going to be building for this edition on the channel. They're based on the Knights of Lazarus, the real life like leper knight.
Go on.
So the idea is that their gene mutation makes it so that the nerve endings in the hands and like their arms basically go dead, so they can't feel nothing. But it also the fact that they can't feel nothing, which is obviously very similar to what leprosy is. It makes motor skills very hard, so they don't use. If they're going to use anything higher than like a pistol-based weapon, so like a bolter or flamer or anything like that, anything that would take a lot more skill to use, or put more strain on the hands to use, they have to change their hands to augmetic.
Right.
And they're going to be Dark Angels because it's going to be a very fighty list. And I thought the whole sort of knight aesthetic works for Dark Angels. But when you boil it down to the actual lists, it's just going to be the same as a normal Dark Angels list.
Right.
So that's where it loses. Well, I was going to say that's where it loses some of the elements that made it cool. But on the upside, in that, because in real life they were known as the Knights Hospitaller. I think it is. I don't know how you say that, but they used to. They weren't just. Although they were used as cannon fodder in real life, they were also traveling. They also had a lot of traveling healers with them because they had leprosy. So in that, with the new edition, it allows me pretty much in every. I think there's a max of 3, but do you know what? It's a fun list. It's a fun thing. But in most units, there can be a medic of some kind. So I can put I've got. You think of like some of the kill
teams. A guy
teams,
just walking around with like extra hands.
Just augmented hands on them. No, I was going with just the normal apothecaries in that regard. But there's a couple of the units that came out recently for things like kill team in the Space Marine range where they have a select kill team member who is like a medic. So it shows that out with the normal class of medics within the Space Marines, the apothecaries, there is other just generic equipment that generic soldiers can use.
The last guy.
Yeah, so it allows me to model some models like that, and they'll not do anything. They'll not do anything extra. They're just gonna look that way.
Yeah, they'll look cool.
Yeah, but they'll not be able to heal anything or do nothing unless I go down the route of the new. I don't know if you've seen this. They brought out the basically create your own hero.
Yeah, I kind of like I pay passing attention to 40k now just because
So-
so much it annoys me. So
They
I'm
brought
aware
out a
that it
book
exists.
where they brought out this book. Basically, you can create your own hero. You can have up to 3 of them in a list. It is non-tournament legal unless specified otherwise. And if you play against non-tournament games, you have to make sure that the opposite player's happy enough for you to use it. It's like a
Yeah.
supplementary book. It's the same as the. I don't know if you've ever played Blood Bowl.
Yes.
So it's the same as the create your own star player book.
Right, okay. It's the
They
same
brought
sort
out-
of premise, just 40k land.
You basically you pick a body, you pick from one of X bodies that has one of X stats and has one similar to what we do in Necromunda.
Yeah.
It has one of X rules for that attached to that body, and so for the generic Space Marine one, it's Dreadnought, so you can build your own Dreadnought. Chapter something or other, chapter brother or whatever, and it's like a veteran model, and then there's a librarian body, and then you go for there, and they have different rules. Ignoring the dreadnought because it's got completely different things, but the two other bodies, the two Space Marine model bodies, the only difference really is their stats and their rule. Other than that, they have the same options. So then you go in and you pick from one of two options that's like an equipment piece, so you can give them Terminator armor, Gravis armor, a banner, that sort of
Yeah.
and then they get a rule assigned to that, and then you give them something else, which is like the apothecary's healing thing, or the +1 leadership, or it's just like what their battlefield role is.
Right, so
If you want to think about it.
It's a bit more defined than just here is my amazing super duper ultra character.
Yeah, well, the big thing that people are complaining about it, which is the bit that's
Of
really
course there's
annoying.
complaints.
Well, I agree with it. Then you get to the war gear, so you are allowed to equip them with a melee weapon. I think it's up to 2 melee weapons, and up to 2 a sidearm, and up to 2. Oh, sorry, up to 2 sidearms. It is a melee weapon, up to 2 sidearms. I'm reading it, and a primary weapon.
Right.
There is some insane choices.
Like plasma cannon, Joe plasma guns.
So you're talking sidearm. You're talking instigator. Not instigator bolt carbine. That's a thingy. What is it called? Absorber bolt. The absorber bolt
Blah, blah, blah.
pistol, which is the one. The judicate. The judicators and the apothecaries are equipped with, which is like a really souped up bolt pistol.
And you
You
can
get
have 2 of
plasma
those.
pistol.
Yep.
You get plasma pistol as an option, flamer, melter, like, and then you go into like the primaries. You've got melter rifles, you've got plasma guns, you've got a forge bolt, which is like insane. It's a souped up bolt gun. It's really the better option for just like normal infantry.
Yeah.
But then you've got things like the heavy bolt gun, which is worse than the forge bolt.
Right.
So why would you have a pistol?
It's a much like everything else that modern 40k has done. It's went, yeah, take the optimal thing, because if you don't, you've ruined it for yourself.
Yeah. So it's like, why would I ever? Because there's no points assigned to it. There's a couple of them. There's a couple of like not the war gear options, but the battlefield role options and the equipment options that do have points costing to them. But it's like one option out of them all. And then the war gear is just pick whatever one you want. So like right now, if I was to, I don't know if I can come out of this because obviously we're testing. I don't know if you can still hear me. Yeah, you can.
Yes.
So if I was to go onto my list that I've got, then it's somewhere here. I've not looked at it in a while. There it is there. Next to my Necromunda.
The best app.
Yeah.
The best app. Which, to be fair to the guys that make, if we're talking about the same one, Necro Raw and Munda Manager, the guys at Munda Manager have absolutely played a blinder in that they've got all the N26 stuff and they are keeping the N23 stuff.
That's
so
pretty good.
Heroes, well done.
To be fair though, like I do know of some people that play original Necromunda with the original rule still to
and
this
like
day
the
and
one set
swear,
of cardboard terrain.
yeah, and swear that the N23 and the rule are garbage compared to what it used
Heresy.
to. So
Well, that's the joys of becoming a grognard. You like your thing, and then they change your thing, and you're like, oh no, my thing.
yeah, so there is where are we? So it's champion of the chapter is the other boss. Right. So for example, right, I have a chapter of the champion, specifically a Space Wolf one. So I get a couple of different options. One of those options, which costs me points, 20 more points, is a Thunderwolf mount. So I now have a Space Marine.
Yeah.
I have a Space Marine riding a wolf.
Yeah, you're
has
not
a
beating the
storm shield.
allegations.
Yeah, I know I'm not. Who has a Storm Shield, because obviously. But it's equipped with a Servo Arm, which is an extra melee weapon, so it means when you attack with a normal melee weapon, you can also attack with it. A Thunder Hammer, a Hellfrost pistol, a Plasma pistol,
Right.
and a Forge Bolter,
Cool.
which are
Excellent.
arguably the best options that you can pick. And not a single one of those options cost me any points.
See, that just, it feels wank, but it's also like, well, that's how the game is now, so
Yeah,
not everything's
it's
for
one of
everybody,
those
play it
ones.
or don't.
If you don't, what is the point? Because the person you're playing as plays it. These are just ones that I've built. To be fair to it, quite a lot of the ones that I have made with this rule set, I have made to be characters with law.
Right.
So I've basically based them. I've looked at the old edition rules when we still had those characters, and went through and sort of tried to build them as close as I could to replace people like Luca the Trickster, who is now a Legends character. Crom, who's now a Legends, who might be coming back because he played a lot. He had a big defining role in Armageddon,
which we're
and
apparently
now
back at war with now.
exactly. So
But don't worry, the Steel Legion were kinda there, but they're not there, but they are, but
No,
they're kinda.
yeah,
You can just
I
paint your Deathcore guys a different colour.
I know. There is a lot.
That upset me.
Yeah, there is a lot that they do and that Games Workshop do, and they do it across the board with all their games that make me go. You really just are in it for the money. They're not beating the allegations of
nah
money.
And again,
like apparently,
sorry, on you go.
Sorry, on you go.
I was just going to go on a tangent.
Right. Well, I was going to say this might even help your tangent. Apparently, in the rumours that are out there, tinfoil hat, they're bringing out at some point this year a brand new Primarch model for Rebooty Gilly.
Right.
So he was the first Primarch model we got on the Loyalist side for 40k, and we haven't even got the others yet.
Nah,
that can come back. Not that I'm butthurt about the fact we got a refresh and I didn't get my. Do you know what? As much as that is a joke online, I'm actually really happy we didn't, because I really like the Logan Grimnar model, and I think that is a fantastic centerpiece model.
The new one with the two wolves and
the
he's
new
like standing on a tactical rock.
Yeah. I think that's very cool looking and very imposing. And I think if you were to bring, he's actually on a bigger base than any of the Primarch models, by the way, just for your knowledge. I think if they were to bring back a Russ, it would just overshadow that model.
Yeah. Right, absolutely.
And I think that model
just demolish it. Yeah.
I think that model's a really nice looking model, and it's thingy. But I do miss the sled. I do miss his Santa sled. And
it's a weird design choice. It's like, let's take this 8 foot tall wolf lunatic and put him in a sled.
Yeah. It's to be that whole thing that in the Norse pantheon, I'll say it in real life, we don't really know if they exist, but who knows? I don't want like Smite. They, they, each of the gods had some sort of thing associated with them, like Thor had, I believe it is a boat or a sled pulled by two goats.
Right.
So it's that connotations is the whole thing, because you know how Space Wolves need to be furries mixed with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's that whole thing, I believe, is why they tried it, and it looked daft, but
It looks mental. It looks objectively mental.
Yeah.
You've got
But
8 foot
it's
tall
kinda
power
why I
armor
like
demigods and this guy on a sled.
on a sled. Yeah. Which is kinda why I like it, and I kinda miss it. I've kept my old edition one, and I'm tempted to buy another Logan and just put him on,
He will have a sledge.
just so that I've got Logan on his new base and his nice new model, and then the same Logan on the sled.
In fact, fuck it, have the sled pulled by two. What are they're not Razor Fangs, Storm Fang things? The two jets that don't exist anymore. Have it pulled by that.
That would be huge.
This is my 8 foot long leader. Enjoy.
Yeah. I'm actually bought new display cases for my Warhammer stuff, and the Storm Wolf doesn't fit in the display case.
Fantastic.
Unless I turn it on its side, so I'm now going to have to get magnet strips and magnet the bottom of it so I can stick it to the back wall of the display case.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, and I don't know what I'm doing about my balloon, because the only other model I've got that doesn't fit in is my Cathay Old World. Which, for anybody who's listening, I only own one. I didn't jump on
the balloons of fury thing.
Yeah, the 3 balloon bandwagon. I like the balloon, but not enough to run 3 of them.
Nah. Like, I want to get one just to kit bash it into an Ash Waste thing and like have it like pulled along by the Dustback Helamites and just like
that would be quite cool, actually.
Right? I think that'd be cool. Like, change the basket to look a bit more like corrugated
techno.
iron. Yeah, a bit. And then have maybe a couple of guys with sniper rifles in it and maybe a stormcaller or something. I think that would look quite interesting.
That would be quite cool, yeah, as like a vehicle for Ash Waste.
Yeah. Or even just to make it a nemesis, make it a peak bad guy for a campaign that you're playing. I mean, like that would be cool.
I think that would be actually quite awesome to think about it. Like, you've obviously got all the story for Avanti and Secession that was going about, and the Ash Wastes have a key part to play in with their lead. But it would be quite cool, yeah, definitely.
I mean, payday's like 3 days away.
Well, the fun thing for me is with my new employment coming soon, we go to being paid every 2 weeks.
Hooray!
So I will now have access to money a lot easier to be able to buy Warhammer parts.
And nothing can go wrong.
Yeah. I just need to remember to put 50% of it into the bills account first before I do anything.
Like, food is equally as important as Warhammer products. But it's like, so I need to go back to the tangent that was about to run away on earlier on. Was, fuck, I've lost it. No, we're back. Right. So, like, see, not jumping into N26 and like making the decision to be like, I'm done with it for now. It's been really liberating to find other game systems. Like, it's the first time in my kind of hobby life that I've actually actively went out my way to find other game systems. I mean, so like when I was a teenager or whatever, getting into 40k, I was like, whatever's in White Dwarf, whatever the colours are they say, that is gospel. All else is heresy. Whereas now I'm like, yeah, just put red on. It doesn't matter.
Just do my own thing.
Yeah. And like being able to, I mean, it's weird being, suppose I'm technically a YouTuber, I suppose. Right?
Yeah, your channel's big enough, yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah. You're not entirely a part-timer like me at the moment. Like,
semi-pro.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll go with that. Semi-pro you.
being a semi-pro YouTube nerd, he said pretentiously, like it's weird to be like, yeah, the thing that my channel's built around, I'm not going to go down the new avenue with that just because I don't want to spend the money on it, and I feel like I need to justify it all the time. But at the same time, I'm like, the things that I'm making for N23 rules, like the new Necromunda stuff, should be because of how I plan on writing it. You shouldn't feel any rules mechanics in it. You know what I mean? Like you should be able to come in it.
Yeah, because it's more narrative than
like it
mechanic
won't.
heavy.
Yeah, and just even being able to take that conscious step back from something that I'm so involved in to look at other things has been interesting. Like I've came across, is it Modiphius, but whatever they're called. They do two kind of solo RPG type books that are miniatures agnostic. So you've got, is it 5 parsecs from home and 5 leagues from the borderlands? One's like a kind of fantasy setting and one's like a sci-fi setting.
I haven't heard of the sci-fi one, but I have seen the 5 Leagues from the Borderlands because I want to say, is it Peach?
Yes,
Just
Mr.
a
Peach.
shout out to other channel. Is it
Notice
Mr. Peach
me,
stuff?
senpai.
Does he does some stuff with that because he does some kit bashing things, I believe.
Look, it looks fun. It looks like a thing that I can do on my own, and then it's got like all the RPG elements and stuff that I like in games. And it's been like I wouldn't have found that had I not been like, yeah, I'm just not
back
doing that. Yeah, and then like there was a modern hard sci-fi one that I came across called Blackout, Blkout.
No.
It's got 3 rules to download. The minis are cool. It's like veteran owned and operated, and it's like, see, like when you were talking about the original Star Wars rules, when you've got reaction stuff, the entire game's alternating activation with reactions in it. So like you move a guy or like you move a squad, you do the thing with the squad, and then like your opponent might shoot back at them or duke out the way or fire Overwatch and that kind of thing. So it's really low rules light. Like it's like 12 pages of rules, and it runs off a D10 system, and stuff just fucking dies. Like it's super tactical, so it scratches that wee itch. So it's what was the point I was trying to make? So it's nicely like step back for the thing that you're so involved in, just to look at how other games work.
Yeah, I'm actually doing that now with, obviously, I'm a huge card game player as well on the side. Card games are more my thing than tabletop games, as much as my channel's at the moment built.
Do both.
War games. Well, it is. That's the whole point of the name of the channel. I was trying to go for something a little bit more, I don't want to say agnostic, but a little bit more agnostic where it could fit. So the blade side of things fits in generic fantasy things, and then obviously the sprue kind of thing. There's a lot more than just Warhammer stuff that comes on sprue.
How dare you suggest such a thing?
Yeah. So it was to try and give that, because I eventually want to branch out to different things. But where I was going with that was I've kind of sort of stepped back from Magic, which is my main card game, for anybody who wants to like slag me in the comments on you.
Get
But obviously, I've been playing it since I was 14, so it's something that's been with. And recently, I've kind of stepped back. I don't buy as much product. I don't agree with what they're doing in the same sense
of
how they're running
your cash.
Yeah, this whole crossover thing, right? Cool. I like it. I understand it. I get it. Like bringing Transformers and Jurassic Park and My Little Pony and fucking everything under the sun you can get an IP for into a card game brings in new players, and it brings in more money for it again.
Yeah, I mean, you need to, like, business wise, I completely respect it, but as a player, I don't want involved with it. You know what I mean? Like it's,
100%.
You can support the game system, but not support the company practice.
Yeah, exactly. And I enjoy playing the game, and I enjoy building decks. And you can call me a bit of a hypocrite. I'm a huge Avatar fan. They brought in the cartoon Avatar, and I bought the full set. And they've done the same with the Lord of the Rings.
I hate this. Take my money.
But I feel like those IPs fit within the universe.
It's less like shoehorned in than like even the 40k stuff kind of shoehorned in.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Even as a 40k fan, they brought out the 40k stuff, and I bought one deck, and that was it. And then, funnily enough, it was the Space Marine. I bought one
Of
deck,
course it was. Yep.
and that was it. Because to me, it felt like it was shoehorned. Whereas if it was maybe Fantasy or Sigma, I probably would have bought a lot more.
Yeah, because that sort of makes sense. Like,
Yeah, and I still don't get why
magic
they did.
as a tool actually exists in that universe instead of psychic powers.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's one of those ones where now it's ramped up that bad, where every second set is an IP of something, and I'm just not about that. And I feel like their own in-universe sets have started to pay the price, because when you look at the writing and you look at the cards, I feel like they're nowhere near as good as the ones from IP, and they don't sell as well. Not that I'm a seller or anything like that, but they don't think they sell as well. The actual in-universe stuff, which you would expect because the IP is huge, but
but it's also a sort of slice of a niche within a niche market. I mean, whereas, like when you open the door to other IPs, like say they made, I don't know, fucking Moana magic cards. You've then got ads and 8-year-olds, and you've got a bigger reselling market. Like, again, support the hobby, not the business practice.
Yeah, but even then, like taking a step back from that has been great. This is something that will potentially appear on the channel at some point, and it's like a very, very, very early spoiler. I have been using quite a lot of my downtime from playing card games to work on my own card.
Tell me more. Or like, don't feel like you have to. If you want to keep a lid on it for now, then keep a lid on it.
There's some stuff I can talk about. It is heavily inspired by other mechanics from other card games that I think work really well. But the biggest draw for the card game is, instead of being your side of the board, the opponent's side of the board, it's lane based. So every game has 3 lanes that you play cards in. And the premise of the card game is you are a commander of a force fighting another army, but that wars don't just take place on one battlefield. They take place on several, sometimes at the same time. So the idea is you have 3 battles going on, and you are committing your resources to one of these battles, and like you need to decide on where you play these resources.
So like kind of, what was the name? Age of Empires. Like you would get attacked by, you would have war on 2 fronts effectively, and have X amount of. I'll get 15 spearmen, but I need to send 10 that way and 5 that way, and
pretty much. So your cards represent units as well as different things you can do. Like maybe you've got mages in your army, so you can play spells and you can do X, Y, and Z. Obviously, there isn't actually a limit. You don't have to have a mage character to be able to play spells. But the actual, like, if you were talking in a traditional sense, the spell cards you would play are split into like 4 different categories. Some of them are like tactical plans, some of them are actions, some of them are training, some of them are, they all do the same thing, they're just called slightly different. And depending on what the name is, gives the flavour to what the card does. But the actual units themselves are suited to one battlefield more than the So if you play them in one of the battlefields, they get an ability. If you play them in another battlefield that's not the one they're suited, they don't do anything.
So you wouldn't have like cavalry running through the woods.
Pretty much. So it's like if my archer is on the beach and the opponent's in the mountains somewhere, it's not going to work. Like, it's one of those ones. Like, you'll find better terrain, better things. So it's that sort of idea in the head. I have actually been playing it. I don't know whether these people will want their name put out online.
Just don't they?
So I'm not going to. Yeah,
don't do that.
I'm not going to. Yeah, the only one that I do know of who currently has a Twitch channel, and it does have his name on the channel. So I will mention his name because he is a good friends with both. As Brian.
Yes, hi Brian.
Who obviously a very, very well known card player from
Yes.
not just us, but in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! I believe, if I remember right, he was the 5th best in Scotland. Don't quote me on that. But has a lot of experience in cards and a lot of experience in breaking cards. So he's been working alongside me quite a lot, testing editions. And I think, you know me personally, you know what my brain works like. Obviously, the people listening to this won't. When I told Brian it was something I was working on, he was very apprehensive about how it was going.
Yeah.
Because of how my brain works, he was like, I don't know how
Like,
complex
you'll be
that's
super
going.
into this, and it'll be like peak. You need 4 degrees and autism and ADHD medication to understand this.
So that's where the idea was. Like, there's no way in hell this is going to be simple and easy. Then I got him to play it, and we played 3 games of it, and literally he refused to leave my house. He was sat in my house for maybe another 5 hours playing games because he just became that hooked on it that quick.
Nice one.
Because the actual rounds of the game, you play 3 rounds in a game. It's like best of 3. They take about, once you know how to play it, once you get your head round about how to play it, which is quite quick to do. He done it in 3 rounds. He was able to get his head around how to play it. They take about 5 minutes to play.
See,
So it's very.
Yeah, that's what I want in a game system. Whatever it is I'm playing, tabletop or card or whatever, it's limited time at this point. So I like things that you can genuinely do in a lunch break. Like 40k in 40 minutes used to be a rule set, and then they changed it sort of to Combat Patrol eventually, but I've never played Combat Patrol, so I can't really comment on it.
Do you know what? I do like Combat Patrol. I've played a wee.
I've watched a couple of battle reports, and it seems good fun, but I also don't really want to give more money to GW.
It's not the 40k in 40 minutes. It's a lot longer. It's a lot.
Right.
There's a lot more going on. But
if they bring out a new edition of Warcry, which seems to be in the rumour mill, chances are I'll pick that up, because for what I understand of Warcry, it's a good system and it's quick to play and learn. And I'm in my lunch break gaming era now, where if I can complete a game of something in like 30 minutes, I'm very here for it.
Yeah, 100%. So that would take you, like, the games we were testing yesterday were being played. Actually, was it yesterday? Now that I'm thinking about it. No, today's Tuesday. No, the games we were playing on Sunday, I had invited a load of people over, which are the people I'm not going to mention their names. I'm not going to put that out online for people to watch, especially with the 1,000 followers you have on you.
I'm fairly certain none of them are maniacs, but I can't rule it out. Put it this way: if you're not allowed unsupervised access to the internet, and or you have any pending or previous bail conditions, go away.
Yeah, pretty much. Knowing the Necromunda community, they're either like the saintiest people ever, or they're maniacs. Knowing the Necromunda community, which you have built your channel.
Dear.
They're either the nicest people on the planet or absolute.
Well.
So yeah, I know what camp I fall into.
I'm fairly certain I know which one I'm in as well.
In that group that we're playing on Sunday, obviously Brian is a card game fanatic. I had another player who is very much into card games, but different card games, like unusual cards. And then I had a friend of mine who's a really good friend of mine, who has only ever played card games that I have taught, and isn't as big into them. He just sort of plays them as like a hobby thing with us, because we all play. And then I had someone else who has never played a TCG card game in the life.
Heresy.
To be fair, they all really enjoyed it, and the one who enjoyed it the most, mine is Brian, obviously, because he's obsessed with it, because he's been helping me alongside from the beginning, was the person that had never played a card game. Because
nice. That's good. That's what you want.
Their exact words were they have tried to play other card games like Pokemon, like Magic, like Yu-Gi-Oh, like Digimon, and find that the rule set is too complex. There's too much you need to know straight away to even be able to sit down and play. Whereas this, you can just sit down and play, and it is very much play a card. Can you count to?
I can do one of those things, but I'm not going to tell you what one.
So it is very simple. It is fantasy themed. So we'll see what comes of it. I'm not at the point now of publicly showing it off
Yeah.
because there's some contentious things. I'm only on version 2, which is
Right.
what the guys are testing. I've had to change some rules and change some things. Version 3 of it is in the backlogs at the moment, being designed and fixed. I think the biggest contention point is I am not an art.
Right.
Anybody, despite what anybody might think from my kit bashes, I am not an art.
Well, art has many forms.
Well, I'm using quite a contentious form of art at the moment.
Is it fucking hentai?
Online. No. It's more made by a computer software that you type prompts into, and
No, how dare
Yeah.
you? See, there was a couple of people a while back on my channel. Oh my God, more AI slop bear, and I'm like, I get the upset. I understand it, and
I get it.
like,
I've got friends that are artists.
Yeah.
I get
but I am a one-person enterprise with limited time and no computer-based design skill and no disposable income to pay someone to do it.
That's my problem.
I
And
mean,
you
like,
think of what you're doing for the channel, you're maybe getting 1-2 pieces of art.
yeah,
For a card game where every single
we have
card
drained the
needs
Clyde and burned
an
the
art.
forest.
For me to go out and pay someone, even with people that I know that are artists or partners or friends of mine that can draw
Yeah.
and do it digitally, is the amount of work that I would have to give them, I would feel personally awful.
Well, it's maybe, just think it loud, it's maybe one of those things, like, see when the kind of rule sets at a stage where you like it, it's maybe starting a crowdfunding thing or a GoFundMe and being like, look, see at this tier, you can design the artwork for a card, or like you just put it out and I'll put it on something.
The thought was to, once the cards are, because I've got some cards already printed out, because I'm using an online program now where you can actually design cards and then you can print, and I'm printing them on card. Obviously, my partner has, because of the business that she does, we have a lot of card lying about that can be printed on because she uses it for things like our menus and all that for her. I've stole some of that and printed them, so they've got the same sort of feel as. And the idea is that I'm going to branch out the rule set a bit more once it's finished. Branch it out to some other people that I know in the communities from, obviously, my contacts that I have built through working for GR.
Yes.
To get a bigger audience to test it. If the feedback seems to be mostly positive, I plan on putting some stuff up on the channel about it and seeing what the feedback comes from the channel.
And I mean, see if this whole podcast thing starts to work, then by all means come on and just pitch your stuff.
And if then there seems to be a good feedback in the community, then I never know, maybe some people in the community, maybe some people that will listen to this, maybe want to reach out and go, I'm happy to draw art, I can digitally draw.
Well, how would these people find you, perhaps? He said, making a fantastic segue.
It's almost like I have a lovely channel on YouTube called Blade and Sprout, and it's almost like Dr.Drybrush here has advertised my channel with you.
I like people doing well, mate. I like people doing well.
Yeah, I know you do.
The more Munda is more betterist, but at the same time, more hobby is good because it can be quite an isolating experience and all that kind of stuff. And like, particularly when you're doing something creative, like just because there's a couple of dudes that I periodically just stick on posts on YouTube. Like, I found this, you might like it. Like, and I use dudes as a gender neutral term, by the way. Like, I don't mean any offense by it. It's just like you guys. No, like, so don't fucking chase me down and burn my house to bits or whatever. But
I was going to say, I feel like being, again, not to label anything from us, but being from the nationality that we are. If you
Nah.
can't guess the nationality, I don't know what
Swedish.
you're doing. Yeah. To be one of the people that was testing my card games has just came back from holiday. They were in Turkey, and for the whole holiday, the people were speaking to them in German because
Excellent.
they thought they were German. And I don't know how you could possibly think our accents are German, but
I mean,
it is what it is.
I have German heritage. It's close enough.
Well, yeah. But from our nationality, there's a lot of things that we say that when you post online to a wider audience that could be of
Yeah.
any culture or any other nationality, it becomes a bit hard.
Yeah,
Like
that's...
That was a hate crime.
my favourite descriptor word for people is a word that we can't use because of YouTube's terms and services.
We've used it like 5 times.
And
We've used it a
have
bunch already, and I'm not going back to
have it
edit
on.
this.
Alright, cool. That word.
Dude, YouTube isn't monetized for me anyway. Do what you want.
Alright, that's fine, cool. Well, is the word cunt, which is, for an American audience, the worst word anybody could say.
But if you're an Australian, you're like, yes.
Yeah, so, or Irish, the Irish love the word. But, like, they're using the word dude. Like, for us, that's just a natural thing.
It's like punctuation in a sentence.
Yeah. But other people are just like, oh, he only supports male artists. You're like, no, that's not what that meant. No.
So
yeah, I get.
Yeah. So on that, like, big fan of everybody. Effectively, like, so I just like periodically like tagging people in posts because like it might be a case of somebody's got really good content, but they've maybe only got a limited reach. And I don't have a massive reach by any means. Like, let's be abundantly clear about that. Like, I know where I stand, but it's always nice to be like, maybe somebody that likes this part of the niche thing. So if you like the way like I do something, you might like the way that this person does something or that person does something, or like more Munda is more better, and like more hobby stuff's always good.
Well, to be fair, I think you're selling yourself short a wee bit there. I think you've got more reach than you think because obviously you do. Yeah, not in a weird.
No.
You obviously do have a fairly sized channel yourself, but you also do a lot with other channels, and I know you do some stuff in the background for some other channels, which we won't name. But then I also know people like Commander Cheap.
Hi, friend.
Publicly advertised that you'd help alongside some of the stuff that they.
Yeah, so we did that
like
September
series. Yeah,
it was good fun, and like it's just fun. It's just good fun. But that was a case of just reaching out to somebody and being like, "I've got this idea. Do you think it's dumb?" And they were like, "Nah, man." I'm like, cool, want to do that? It's like, because neither of us is like, YouTube's not the career. You know what I mean? It's not a money maker.
Yeah,
so we're largely free to do what we want. And for all I've got like affiliate codes and stuff. If any of them get super upset, then cool, that's okay. I don't have to be your affiliate. That's fine. Like, I mean, like, I'm not making money for this, and I never want to be in a position where I or anyone else thinks that or like I'm bought and paid for. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I won't say this because like, you know what I mean? But like particularly the sort of Necromunda hobby community is as niche as it is. There's people always just want to do stuff. Like, there's no reason. Like,
that's the whole reason I get into doing what I'm doing is because of you. Like, with me doing my kit bashes and my things, and then every time I do something cool that I think you like, you get a photo straight through. Yeah. Like,
it's 4 a.m. Look at this.
Since your job changed, my job changed. GR shut down as a company.
Nah.
What has been maybe 3 years since I've actually seen you in person.
Yeah.
And then just out of the blue, every now and then you get a random photo of a model that I have. Again,
there's never any context. There's never any build up. It's not just, here's a picture of this. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of this.
Random photo. Yeah. You're like, what do you think? Like, but that sort of is literally what my channel is now. It's like, here's a cool thing I made, and this is
Look
how
at
I
this.
made it.
Pretty much.
It
That's
was
the way to
you
do it.
that
Like,
went, why don't you just take a video of you doing it? If you're doing it anyway, you may as
yeah,
well just take a video and put it online.
might
And
as
that's,
well.
again, how this all started. So, yeah.
Just do things. Like, for anybody out there that's sitting on the fence that for whatever reason has decided to listen to over 90 minutes of us talking utter
Yeah, I
bollocks,
noticed that. Yeah. That was
then
only meant to be a test, which I assume
yeah,
will now be getting posted because of
I
how
mean,
long it is.
it'd be a shame not to.
To be fair, most podcasts, when you click on them, are about 3 hours long. Not that I
Yeah.
intend to be here for 3 hours.
No, fuck that, man. No, like I really, I need to eat and I need to go outdoors and do things. But where was I going? What was I saying? Right. So, like if you're on the fence
Anybody
about
that's
starting
sitting-
some, yeah, just start it. Like, look at, like, again, not a massive channel, whatever. Just look at my first video. Look at the presentation of that. Look at the pattern of speech
That was
and the sound quality and stuff.
the wings, was it not? The Mortarian? Your first?
Very possibly, very, very possibly. I think it's like,
Now that I think of
let's find out together. Oldest video I have is 5 years ago. How to paint decayed flesh. Painting decayed flesh.
yeah, and
So
it's
that was-
Mortarian's wings.
Yeah, and that was like, you'll find the style of that one was very similar to, it was called Luke's APS at the time, but I think it's now Geek Gaming Scenics. I don't even know if he's on YouTube anymore, but I think the company's still alive.
Yeah.
I was watching a lot of that content and I was like, well, that's just how you present painting content. And then like the next video after that was the Necromunda solo play monster hunt thing.
Yeah.
Possibly during the plague or shortly after the plague.
Oh, I don't know if we've had a little technical difficulty there. Cut out halfway. Okay, I don't know what's happened to Dr. Drybrush. I don't even know if this is still recording, but while he's away sorting what he's doing, I'm just going to ramble on top of what he was saying. But definitely, if you are on the fence, I'm a advocate of this, because I have been on the fence for years about doing something like when Dr. Drybrush started doing his, I definitely would jump on it. Just get your on the platform, get the name that you want, just sort it from there, and then go. This how to do it. This is what I'm going to do. Don't base your content on anybody. Take it how you want it to be, and you'll find your own rhythm in time. I'm still at that point where I'm trying to find my own rhythm of talking to no one like I'm doing right now. I'm just really hoping that he appears back, but I think his batteries have actually died. But yeah, I would take that, do that, try it, and if you don't like it, then you can always take it down eventually. But it's worth a shot if you are definitely on the fence. But what I'll say with that, I don't think Dr. Drybrush is going to come back. I think we'll just leave it here. Whether or not he posts it, I don't know what the deal will be. But it's been lovely chatting with him, and I'm sure he's had a ball chatting with me as well, because, you know, I'm just that great. No, but we obviously are good friends. I haven't chatted. This was really just a ramble and a test. So with that, we'll obviously bid you farewell and hopefully see you on his next episode, where I will be lovely watching in the sidelines. Then bye bye.